Should you avoid dairy if you have high cholesterol? Not necessarily, but you do need to be highly selective about the types and amounts of dairy you consume. Dairy products, especially full-fat versions, are significant sources of saturated fat, which is known to raise LDL, bad cholesterol levels. For individuals already struggling with high cholesterol or increased cardiovascular risk, this makes full-fat dairy, like whole milk, cream, butter, and many cheeses, a potential threat to heart health if consumed regularly or in large quantities. However, dairy isn't an all-or-nothing category. Not all dairy products are created equal, and some can still fit safely into a cholesterol-lowering diet when chosen carefully. Low-fat or fat-free dairy options, such as skim milk, low-fat yogurt, and reduced-fat cheeses, contain significantly less saturated fat while still offering important nutrients like calcium, potassium, protein, and vitamin D. These versions allow individuals to benefit from dairy's nutritional value without the same cholesterol-raising impact. Replacing full-fat dairy with these lighter options is one of the simplest ways to reduce dietary saturated fat without completely cutting out a familiar food group. But even low-fat dairy needs to be approached with caution. Many low-fat yogurts and dairy drinks are heavily sweetened to improve taste, introducing large amounts of added sugars that can raise triglycerides and contribute to insulin resistance. These metabolic changes can worsen an already unhealthy lipid profile. Always check nutrition labels and avoid products with high sugar content, even if they're marketed as heart-healthy or low-fat. Unsweetened, plain versions are usually the safest bet. Plant-based dairy alternatives can offer another option for people managing high cholesterol, but they're not universally superior. Beverages like almond milk, soy milk, and oat milk are often lower in saturated fat than cow's milk, but many are highly processed and can be loaded with added sugars, oils, thickeners, or preservatives. Some plant milks contain little protein or calcium unless fortified, which may weaken their nutritional value. Among the plant-based options, unsweetened soy milk is generally considered the closest equivalent to dairy in terms of protein, and it may even offer additional heart benefits due to its isoflavones, compounds that have been shown to modestly lower LDL cholesterol. Fermented dairy products such as yogurt and kefir may offer some added benefit, as the live probiotic cultures they contain have been linked to improved gut health, which in turn may help reduce systemic inflammation and modestly support cholesterol metabolism. Some research suggests that daily consumption of unsweetened, low-fat yogurt may have a neutral or slightly beneficial effect on cholesterol levels, especially when replacing less healthy snacks or desserts. Still, dairy should never be viewed as a neutral food in a cholesterol-conscious diet. Even in low-fat or fermented forms, overconsumption can lead to excess calorie intake, weight gain, and metabolic imbalance, factors that all contribute to elevated cholesterol. Butter, cream-based sauces, and cheese-heavy meals should be minimized or avoided altogether, as they are among the most concentrated sources of saturated fat in the Western diet. Cheese, in particular, is often consumed in large portions and hidden in processed foods, making it easy to exceed safe limits without realizing it. In summary, people with high cholesterol do not need to completely eliminate dairy, but they must be selective, informed, and moderate in their choices. Choosing low-fat, unsweetened, or plant-based alternatives can reduce saturated fat intake and help maintain a healthier lipid profile. However, even the healthier forms of dairy should be part of a broader heart-healthy strategy that emphasizes whole grains, fruits, vegetables, legumes, and lean proteins. Dairy can fit into that picture, but only if it's used wisely and not as a silent contributor to cholesterol elevation.